Hi, I'm Steve from Handy Dryers, and today I'm introducing our brand new Beaver Eco hand dryer. The Beaver hand dryers have been in our range for a number of years, and they were specifically designed to be a slimline unit, so really well suited to washrooms where you didn't have an awful lot of depth. Maybe you had to mount the hand dryer behind where a door would open, or any situation where you don't want something large sticking out on the wall. Now what we've done is taken it to the next level, so we've got a really advanced unit now. It's properly eco, and a lot of controls and ability to cut down the electrical costs on it, which I'll run through with you. Let's take a look inside the unit itself. Now at the bottom here, the one thing, I don't know whether you can see very clearly, but there's a little control knob here, and that turns the power of the motor up and down. That means that we're going to have a unit where you can effectively control the dry speed and control the noise level of the unit at the same time. Now we'll do a little experiment soon so you can see what the relative noise levels are. But if you're in an environment where you need it to be quiet, then you can turn it down. It might take an extra 3 or 4 seconds to dry your hands, but that's a really big advantage if it's near a school classroom or in a theatre or somewhere where the noise really does make an important difference. The next thing to look at is the HEPA filter, which on this unit is enormous. It's a dust filter to start with. It takes out all the particulates in the air, and then you've got a really, really big, powerful HEPA filter here, which goes down to 0.3 microns. Now, 0.3 microns is most bacteria and some viruses as well. So it's going to capture most of the nasties going around in the room. And if you look at the size of that, that's probably 3 times bigger in terms of its length, and probably 3 times thicker in terms of its depth of a HEPA filter in almost any other dryer. So it really is a big unit, and it's designed to suck in a lot of air to give you a powerful hand drying experience, but at the same time to clean that air and keep the washroom really, really germ and to some extent smell free as well. Eco is one of the main drivers of the new range of hand dryers. And I've already explained to you that we've got this dial where we can turn the power up and down. But on the top of the unit here is a switch that controls the heating element in the unit. And that's quite a large chunk, almost 2/3 of the power the unit uses. So in the summer months, or if you just don't want the heater on, you can literally flick this switch into its off position. The heater turns off and we're down to 600 watts then. The unit's only using 600 watts of power, which is tiny. If you then wanted to turn it down and turn the motor down, we're going below 500 watts. Now, to put that in context, most hand dryers are about 1.5 kilowatts. That's 3 times that amount of power. If you're using it at that low power level, we're looking at something in the region of 2,500 to 3,000 hand washes for £1. That's £1 of electricity. 3,000 hand washes for £1. At the start of this video, I talked about the reason for the Beaver, which was the fact that it's a really slimline unit. And just to give you in practical visual terms what that means is, this is the Beaver cover, right? This is the cover from a standard unit. In fact, it's one of our Armadillo hand dry units. And I think that gives you a good idea as to quite how slimline this unit is and what difference it'll make in your washroom. We're now going to test the unit and see how quickly it dries my hands. It's become pretty famous, this test. Hands in water, nice and wet, give them a rub. And I've already splashed the paper, but we'll try and ignore that. And over here under the hand dryer. That was about 12 seconds. If I put my hands on the paper here and remove it, you'll see there's no marks on it at all, apart from the splash marks that I did earlier. Sorry. So we're now going to do a sound check with the sound meter. Let's put it on so it holds the maximum noise level. As you can read, it's just over 75 decibels. I've now turned the unit down to its lowest setting, so it's not going to be running quite as hard as it was before, but it's also reduced the sound levels. So let's have a look now and see how much noise it does make at reduced sound level. Put this on maximum. .4 decibels. In conclusion, the new Beaver Eco has got all the latest credentials. It's extremely slimline. It's only 99 millimeters from front to back. It's vandal proof. We haven't really talked about that, but it's Got a really solid cover on it, and that's not going to get damaged very easily at all. We've got an eco switch which will turn off the heater, but we can then turn down the motor even further, which is going to give us that 2,500 to 3,000 hand dryers for just £1. It's got a really powerful dust and HEPA filter, but it's also really large to let lots of air in. A 2-year warranty. It's in 3 different colorways. 2 of them are this really tough powder coat. It's a really, really great unit, and if you've got a washroom where you've got that slimline need, it's the one to buy.